Say exam has come. So to solve the problem, let us quickly revise, as in it will work as a mock test, because UGC net exam dates has also been declared. So the exams are coming nearby. So I think one should practice for the same, and it will be very easier for one who wants to sit for the examination. An entrepreneur has a short run cost function. Cost function means we know TC. Now TC is given what? TC is given as q cube minus 10q square plus 17q plus 66. Now market price given 5, so what should be the profit maximizing output, right? Now to find the profit maximizing output, what we need to do? We need to find the pi, that is pi equal to r minus c, right? So PQ, right? So 5Q minus the whole thing, TR minus TC. So that counts to minus Q cube plus 10Q square minus 12Q minus 66. Okay. So now to maximize the profit, what we need to do? D of pi with respect to D of Q. So the answer comes 3q square minus 20q plus 12. So either comes q2 or 3. So to determine which value of q maximizes profit, we can substitute this value back. Okay, like for q2, pi is what? Profit is what? For q3. We see that the profit is higher for q3. So the answer we tell is Q3. Now we come to the second question. An increase in output due to an increase in demand in a perfectly competitive and constant cost industry, which is in the long run equilibrium, will result from new firms only, is existing firms only, both new and existing firms, any of the above. So in a perfectly competitive industry, there are many firms we know, and each firm is a price taker. They cannot influence the market price. In the long run equilibrium, firms are making zero economic profit, and there is no incentive for new firms to enter or existing firms to exit this industry. When demand increases in the long run, the price in the market will rise, signaling existing firm to increase their output. Since the industry is in long run equilibrium with constant cost, existing firms can easily expand their output without facing increasing cost. New firms will not enter the industry immediately because they cannot make positive economic profits in the long run. Therefore, in the given scenario, an increase in demand will be met by the expansion of existing firms' output and not by the entry of new firms, right? As the industry is also already in long run equilibrium with constant cost. So an increase in demand or output due to an increase in demand will be made by the expansion of existing firms only. Okay. Now here the market demand function and the cost function in a duopoly market are given, and the Stackelberg solution for Q11 is given by how? We know the formula. Like here we have to use the, I am giving a hint, we have to use the reaction function formula. Okay, the reaction function, like 1 leader objective is to maximize profit, taking into account the follower reaction process we know, and it's like a 2-stage game where the leader one moves first and the follower reacts optimally to the leader decision. Accordingly we have to prove this one, so accordingly one can solve it. Now next question. Demand function is given as x1 is equal to a, and where p1 and p2 are prices and m is the money income. So what is the relation between alpha, beta and gamma? So the given demand function is this, where p1 and p2 are what? These are the prices and m is the money income. Now this is a demand function that follows the Cobb-Douglas form, now which is widely used functional form in economics, and the relationship between alpha, beta, what gamma can be determined by considering the properties of the Cobb-Douglas demand function. So the Cobb-Douglas demand function, the parameters like alpha, beta, y, what they represent? The elasticity of demand with respect to the variables, that is P1, P2 and money income. So the sum of these elasticities here mentioned, alpha, beta and gamma, is known as the income elasticity of demand, which measures the responsiveness of demand to changes in income. Now if alpha plus beta plus gamma is 1, it implies that the demand function is homogeneous of degree 1 in prices and income, which means that a proportional change in price and income will lead to the same proportional change in demand. What we want, the relationship. So this property is known as the absence of money illusion. The absence of money illusion, and is often assumed in economic model to ensure that demand function are consistent with consumer theory. Okay, now fifth number question, when two firms are engaged in Bertrand price competition, means with equal unit cost. So four options are given. Their output will be lower and prices higher than if they engaged in Kuno quantity competition. Their outputs will be higher and prices lower than if they engaged in quantity competition. Their outputs will be higher than Kuno quantity competition, but nothing can be said about price. Their price will be lower than Kuno quantity competition, but nothing can be said about output. The answer will be this one. In Bertrand price competition with equal unit cost, the firms will compete by setting price rather than quantity. This leads to a situation where each firm will try to undercut the other by lowering its price. The result is often a race to the bottom. Given this context, the correct answer is D. Why? Because their price will be lower than Kuno quantity competition, but nothing can be said about outputs. In Bertrand competition, firms will typically set prices close to marginal cost, resulting in lower price compared to Kuno quantity competition, where firms set quantity and achieve a higher price equilibrium. However, without specific information about demand, then we cannot make a specific sentence, right? So this is the answer with respect to that one. Do like to the channel for more such videos.